Hello, 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 and welcome to Beyond the Pitch podcast, episode number 3. I'm your host, Mark571. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, the Italian Stallion, Alonzi.
Bene.
And our other host, he was new last time. Now he's a seasoned vet. You want to be me?
Yep.
So another week goes by, and Bournemouth isn't last. So there's that. I mean, this has been a pretty interesting week. It's now a three-headed horse race, with Leicester kind of like hoping one of the horses fall. That's pretty much it. I mean, like, the downfall of Chelsea, but we called that. And the rest has pretty much just stayed the same. I don't know. Let's just get into United. The worst team in the league. The 1 point themselves. I mean, oh God.
Hey, they got the point. They got the draw.
Yeah, it was just Bournemouth, though, so. Thorpe Clan rejects over there. Oh, God. It was a bad...
At least they try.
I mean, hey, they show up, okay? You score one goal the entire week, and you still show up. You have my greatest respect to that entire team. It was just a bad week. 6-0 Spurs, 7-0 Liverpool. The only goal versus Bournemouth, 3-1 loss. Another 3-0 loss to United, to Spurs. 2-0 loss to Leicester, and then a 4-0 loss to Everton. So, rip. And I mean, there's just, you can't say much about this team. I'm literally just gonna give the MVP to Phenomenal One, who I played NHL with, for scoring their only goal this week. That's how quickly we could just run through United. Like, you want it doesn't even have to talk like that. That's how.
Yeah, I guess I'd still give a shout out to Tryhard for taking that team over, and he at least seems active. You know, he's always in the shout.
He's getting
box,
the boys
he's
together.
Always just talking, and he's like you said, they're showing up, so that's big for the longevity of the league. I mean, good thing we have this short season. We can balance out the rosters a bit this off season. Yeah, people are starting to get a general idea of who the good players are and who are the newer players.
Which is okay. Obviously, that's going to be a part of the first season. But all right, I hope they keep showing up. Keep showing up, boys. I'm not trying to, trash talk or anything. Just keep grinding it out. There's only a week and a half left, and then you guys could move on to bigger and better things. So shout out to United for everyone that's showing up and try hard for trying to get the boys together.
Even DG Keeper, he's been on every game. 12 games I would have played, so he's like a dieharder. I give shout out to him too.
And he's been all over, right? I've seen him play all positions except for goalie, but he's been all over. So
yeah, I don't think their current management team is the problem. If I can just throw that in there, like you said, the GM shows up and the owner's been trying to do things. It's just that they were obviously screwed with the original owner.
Yeah, Thorpe screwed them, and that's pretty much it. All right, let's just try to bang out these. I don't want to bang out to be a total jerk, but it's just, you can't talk. It's just the same thing over and over. Bournemouth, though, they got a win. Excuse me. Congrats to them. I know who my MVP is. They beat United, so that at least they're not the worst team. So I guess Justin B's little improvements are going well.
Debatable. Small changes.
Small changes. I mean, still 1-1-10. There's not a lot to say. 11 goals for, 55 against. A better week, I guess, but still the same thing.
Everyone thought that Man U was going to be over them, and look who's over them, Man U right now.
Yeah, shout out to them for being a little bit better.
And the other thing I'll honestly say, when you look at their games, Chelsea is not far off from them. Like, just score lines, their closest games are against Chelsea both times. Yeah, they're both 2-goal games.
Well, I mean, was that Bournemouth result? I heard that was. I thought they drew against Chelsea, and Chelsea scored like a last-minute own goal or some crazy thing like that. I'm not sure. When we're doing the recording on Thursday, all the stats haven't been, and I still don't know why that's a problem. But I heard that. I think that's a draw. So Chelsea and Bournemouth drew.
Well, then, yeah, that's even more embarrassing for Chelsea. But I mean, shout out to the Unabomber who's back on. After he thought he was going to greener pastures, he apparently goes back to Bournemouth.
Oh my god.
Which I think was Spurs' fault, if I remember correctly.
Rip.
I think he came to Spurs and we immediately got rid of him because that's just what happens.
Oh.
But I mean, just hang in there, buddy. You're showing your stuff on the lower team.
Yeah, he is honestly.
In the off season somebody would definitely pick you up, or
yeah, for
your team
sure.
would get balanced out more, because if you're producing on that team, I'm sure you could produce on any other team, which would give you some service, or they'd be happy to have you.
And on top of that, here, Alonso, I know exactly
son.
what you're gonna say, Alonso, who your MVP is.
I just feel bad for a Sparkplug, man.
I was literally about to say Sparkplug. That's why,
he
rip.
is taking a beating.
Oh, he's a good goalie. I don't know
don't get me wrong.
I don't know if I think he's it's just another one of those goalies that are on a bad team that just get overshadowed. But he really is. He's done some pretty great things back there for them, and I know after the season ends, he's on that 2-year, but that's a great goalie contract. But on top of that, Justin B, I'm going to stand by this, and you two, give your opinions on it. Justin B is not an owner next year. Just for the league's sake, I don't think Justin B should be an owner next year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I agree with that. I just think, like I said before, I trashed him pretty hard in the first podcast that I was on, just calling him delusional and all that. If anything, man, just try and get the Unabomber in the management on that team and let him just go after some players.
Give them to Sparkplug it and
yeah,
and
for sure.
Sparkplug and Unabomber, get on that. You guys might be
the dynamic duo.
Turn that around. Alonzi, you want to chip in?
I would say the same thing, man. Sparkplug is it's a chipper, like you guys said. He's a great goalie. He probably knows what he's doing. He could probably turn that team around next season. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I would like to.
And another thing, I don't see a lot of Matt. Matt's not playing a lot of games. I don't know why. Maybe he's just frustrated.
Yeah.
But he should be playing more defense.
I mean, he is their only real defender.
Yeah.
Full blown. I'm pretty sure, at least. I'm not. I know when they've been asking about trades for him, at least Justin has said that he's their best defender. So.
Oh, for sure. We paid them.
Yeah, I know we have, and we try to get him, but I'm not going to pay that much. I mean, we're fine with our team now, but all right, whatever. I don't want to spend too much time on teams we've already gone over, and it's just the same thing every week. All right, let's get into Manchester City. I mean, 6th place, like we've predicted. The big win against Leicester, I think that's got to be the main, standout game. Everything else is pretty normal. The 6-4 Chelsea game, but I mean, shout out to Cheek. The kid's got thumbs, and B Brawler has carried that team for goals and points.
12 goals, 3 assists.
Done a good job.
19 shots on target. This guy's got.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
I mean, like I said before, I don't know, man. It just looks like they're still having issues scoring. Like they got shut out 3 games in a row, versus us. You guys and Everton. And then granted, that's the top 3 in the league right now, but still, to not put up a single goal is kind of, embarrassing. You gotta at least put the ball in the net.
Somebody is fucking their girlfriend right now. Yo, I'm not even cutting this out. No bullshit. Somebody is going hard as fuck. Oh my god. My ears.
Slow thrusting.
Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm sorry. I don't know if you could even hear that, but someone's getting lucky. Jesus. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Christ.
It sounds like Bournemouth and Manchester United.
Oh my god. Yo, Justin and Thorpe are up there. I'm dead. Oh my god. Yo. Oh, there's the fucking drilling. Oh. Yo,
jokes.
I think that's a good note to end on, City. I mean, I think they have pieces for next season to try and get this back on track, but they definitely got a way to go.
This season's done for 6th place. Well, it's all right, Cheek. I'm pulling out for you, man. Manchester City fan to another Manchester City fan. You keep plugging along, buddy.
Disgusting.
Well,
Yeah,
he's got 17 shots. He's got 17 shots. So he is shooting. It's just I don't know. He's only got what is it here? 3 goals.
Yeah, so. I mean, I still shout out to Sheik. He's still my young. He'll get through it. Just growing pains, for the young prospect.
You're the young god. 3 years, 4 years. You just wait. Wait. All right, let's get to the. I really want to talk about this team, and I know all the Chelsea players have right away just clicked to this part because I called it, or we called it. I'm not gonna take all the credit because you wanna set it too. Oh, we called it. Damn, this was the week that Chelsea had to say we're second place. We're gonna show the league that this isn't just a 3-horse race and Leicester, but no, but no, y'all get one win and just get thrashed. Not thrashed, but not convincing at all. And
I mean,
sorry, you could go. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say they easily could have went this week without a win.
Oh,
I mean,
easily.
6-4 against City. In a game with 10 goals, that obviously can be split either way. They got absolutely demolished versus us. It wasn't even close.
What was it, 5-0?
Yeah. Again, I wasn't even in the game. I only played 2 games this week, so 5-0 without me in the lineup. Then Leicester took care of them twice, which go back to last week. That's what we said. We said that the games against Leicester are really gonna decide it. Because even going in the last week, I thought you guys should take care of him. I thought we should take care of him as well. But I thought the games against Leicester would really show how this team, shapes up. And then you lose 2 against Leicester. Then you just fall right out of it.
Yeah. What do you got, Alonzi?
Well, the game with us, but we beat them 2-0. We totally shut them down. Like,
bro, that game. If it wasn't for the future Spurs starting goalie, all right, that game could have easily been 5-0. They had 2 shots and none. I don't even remember. I mean, this week is hard to remember, but I'm sorry, that's just bad.
Flyers was a beast.
Oh, dude, Flyers was a beast, and
Robin.
We gotta talk about that trade once we get to the Spurs, because I'll just save it for then. But really good trade for the Spurs.
I'm just looking at stats here, man. Just like the stats are embarrassing in that game. You guys are close to 80% passing. You just out-possession them, like 57% possession.
we killed them.
Paid more shots on target.
Killed them.
I mean, Jay Carlos again doing absolutely nothing.
2 weeks. Okay.
I called him out last week. I'm just gonna be honest. I called Jay Carlos out last week, and then he gave me a little heat in the forums, and then he just did absolutely nothing. And if I remember right, Chelsea players were pretty excited when they got him, like they were getting some soccer god or something like that, and it just has not worked out for them. He's just been another player on the team that's doing absolutely nothing.
He only has 1 goal all season.
No,
that's against Bournemouth.
Oh, he had a goal. He's fine.
Yeah,
See,
against Bournemouth.
I wanted to say, is he? There are 3 players that went over 10. Okay, you have him, Tom, Lamb. Is he the biggest bust out of the 3? And we'll get to Tom because this week has been insane, and obviously Lamb's the backbone of Leicester. So
just real quick, I mean, just from our perspective, absolutely.
Absolutely,
like,
from our perspective,
he's a waste of money. And honestly, if he's on the Spurs, he's not even on our roster. We TC him, honestly. That's not even an exaggeration. He's literally TC'd because of our roster.
Ooh, Lonzy, what about you?
Jay Carlos, I thought he would be much more for Chelsea when he left Man United. And once he's been there, it's like he's just a ghost. I know they made him captain. But
he's on a 2-year deal for 10.75 too, and you can't erase that.
And he's
That's
captain,
tough.
and the team has just flopped this week. They beat Bournemouth 2-0, and they beat Manchester City 6-4. But everything else, they got shut down. They couldn't score. I don't know what is up, but they have to do something quick. I know there's not that much time.
It's gone, bro. It's gone. 3-headed horse race. This was their week, just like I said. This was their week.
Yeah.
And they pissed it down the drain. They could have easily have gone this whole week without getting 3 points. And this is the sad part, okay? This is supposed to be an 11v11 league. Chelsea plays worse with 11v11. They do.
Yeah,
Go look
okay.
at and I mean, if you don't believe me and you're a Chelsea player, go look at all your games. Your closest games are when you guys are fielding the minimum. So, and what are the Chelsea? I don't know who. And man, if you're gonna call me out, like, I'm not gonna take it too personally. Whatever. That's the point of this. But you can't say when you field 11 that you guys are going to be better, and then you're not better. So Chelsea's out of the race. 15 points. They're too far, too gone.
I think it's exactly what you said, man. Getting him whatever team chemistry they did have,
gone.
Making that trade ruined it.
I mean, Black Mamba dead silent. Dead silent this week.
Yeah. Nasty had a good week.
Did he? Did he even score? I mean, scoring not everything.
Well, he's 6 goals, 4 assists.
I thought he always had 6 goals, though.
I just gotta say one last thing, man. I know we're gonna talk about the trade when we get to Spurs, but I mean, Demon. The funniest thing I seen is when Demon found out he got traded, and he was like, "I'm not looking forward to getting, blasted with shots all game playing for Chelsea." Like he's fully expecting to go to Chelsea and get lit up, because he's gonna have to face 10 shots a game.
Well, I clicked on Chiz or whatever, just because I just where those goals. He played striker 3 times this week. The only time he got points was versus City. He got 3 assists.
Yeah, 3
so
assists.
I don't think he got any goals this week. But he played CDM and left.
I think it's a midfield problem though with their team, to be honest. I think playing FIFA as long as I think striker's honestly the easiest position to play. I really do. When you're getting service. When you're not getting service, of course you're gonna look awful. But if they had somebody there to create some chances for him, but every time I see him play, they just don't see any of the ball and no real chances because their midfield is just they're spamming passes, trying to force through balls, and they just get embarrassed.
Yeah, like even against us, all they did was that through ball, and we would just shut them down. Me, Tom, who else was there? We had Easy Dangles, Kane. We all just shut them down. Even Jay Carlos, he couldn't even run by us. So it's like a constant running.
But like you want to said, it's the midfield. But even Carlos has played he's played in the midfield. I mean, he's played a couple games at right back, but still nothing like crazy impressive.
No,
just hasn't been his season. And that 2-year deal, I don't know. That's just not. The talent's it's not like he has no thumbs, right? It's he could score. He's played this game enough, so we'll see. But
just their chemistry.
And probably and their back
what we're gonna talk about later is a big loss is losing Flyers.
Yeah, that's a huge loss. You dug your grave with that trade.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
I mean, you guys have anything else to add?
I don't know. I was giving them hope last week, and
you did a lot. I give you credit. You gave them what they needed.
The only word of advice. Go ahead, Lonzy. Finish up.
Oh, I just wanted to see something better than what I've seen this week. That's it.
The only advice I'll give for Chelsea is really look at your team like the last games you guys have. I mean, you're out of it this year. In reality, you're not going to win the title, but just look at your team and look what you have to change on midfield, whether it's change of formation, whatever it might be. But you got to get your midfield situated. I mean, you can't even look. See, the other thing that people make too many mistakes on, which I don't know if they're doing, but it's hard. Right away, people want to blame the back line. You have to look at your midfield first and then your back line, because if, every time I see them play, for when we play against them, it's just 3 odd man rushes, 3-on-2s and 4-on-2s, because the positioning is just so out of whack, and the midfielders are either pushed up or just out of position. So I would just take the time to just go over your roster, especially in the midfield, and look at who you want to keep for next year, or, what
I was going to say is this week coming up, they should beat Manchester United this Sunday. They should.
They got 2 free wins.
But then they got Everton twice, us and you guys.
Yeah.
This week. That's going to be tough. They would have to pull that rabbit out of their bum.
But even if they won one of those games, whatever, right? Say they win one, it's too little, too late. They're still not gonna. There might not even be playoffs either. This might just be they just want to get the season over.
Let's talk about that at the end.
At the end, for sure.
Yeah, we can bring that up at the end. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Chelsea's done for it. Good try, valiant effort. It's just that I will say that Carlos contract, the two-year one. That's a rip, especially for next year when everyone knows. Oh.
Black Mamba should be worth more money than him, straight up.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into what's gonna not take. We've kind of flew by the first 4 teams. Leicester, they're still in the running. They really are, but unlike us and Everton, they haven't left it in their hands anymore. If you guys know what I mean, they're hoping that they have to win their games and they have to hope for losses instead of just having to win their games. Tough week because unfortunate events in our game, Alonzi.
Yeah.
They beat Chelsea. They beat Bournemouth. They lose against City. That's a really tough one. Especially in the title running. Say they win that game, this week.
Yeah, that's still in their hands.
It's still in their hands, right? But that loss really killed them, unfortunately. And then just beat Chelsea 1-0, lose us. They beat Chelsea 1-0. And
They
then
beat Man U 2-0 too.
Yeah.
After that, then they lost to us 3-0, which we just totally shut them out. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but that red
they
card killed them.
They sweated out that game versus Bournemouth too. I mean, Bournemouth has a red card in that game. Like if you look at that stats in that game, it's relatively even. I mean, Leicester obviously had more shots on target, but they sweat out a game against Bournemouth, and then you immediately lose to City the next day. Might be a bit of like a hangover, like you're sitting there like, how did we only beat Bournemouth by 1 goal? And they scored 2 on you, and then you go against City, and City does a good job. It looked like of just controlling that game, man. It looks like they just got shut out completely.
It's that City game, man. That's really, I haven't really looked at all the top teams' weeks, but that, dude, you win that game, you have 26 points, you're tied with Everton, and now you got 23, and now you have to beat this upcoming week. You got to beat pretty much everybody. I mean, they have Everton, they have the Spurs, they have Everton twice. You have to beat Everton. Both times. You can't even draw. You have to beat them. So, and then hope the Spurs and Liverpool drop. It's just, that's gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching. I mean, there's still, Carlson still has the 7 goals. They still need to fix that.
Think about, yeah.
But, no, I was just going to, you could go, sorry.
No. Well, I actually didn't even know what you were talking about with the Carlson having 7 goals. They just gave.
Well, a lot of owners this season, they don't like to enter player stats, so not all the stats are completely accurate.
I think they meant to put 7 for his player rating, and they put 7 goals, but whatever. So the next best player in terms of goals is what's his name? Gill. I don't know how to say that name, dude. I'm butchering. You guys got to help me with that one.
Goy-Bolt, 27.
Rip.
Goy-Bolt, 27.
6 games, 4 goals. Hey, not bad.
15 shots on target too.
No, I think we were all in agreement though too about their MVP definitely being Lambers.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
I think he's just a solid player. Like even going against them.
Dude, Lamb is a hell of an any, and that's him playing any, right? He's not even playing CDM. So next season, I hope he gets to a team where he just gets to play CDM and really shows his stuff, because he was worth every penny this season, and he still has another week and a half to prove himself, because he already has, just to keep the argument up. But I mean, the rest of the team still not the best, but a 4th place team. Hopefully, we'll see what happens, because again, this team could come out flying and shock and make this a 4-horse race again. But
they can also they can just play spoiler too, man. Like in that last week, if they beat basically us, you guys, or Everton, like that probably is going to put that team out of the race. Realistically, I mean, we would have to take 2 losses, but they, like, for example, Everton really can't afford to lose. Period. Because they're already 3 behind us, and that's big. I mean, we'll get into it. They've shown they can beat us already. So if they can beat us, I'm pretty sure that you guys have had close games against them. So the top 3s can beat each other. Any of those top 3 can beat each other. So Leicester, I mean, they have some stuff to play for, honestly, in the fact that, like I said, they can play spoiler. Yeah. I mean, they're a bit far out for first, but like I said, man, spoiler, it's kind of fun sometimes to ruin somebody's season. I would, like, if I was in Leicester's position, I would be looking forward to trying to ruin somebody's season, and you take a little bit of pride in it.
Yeah, that's all it's about. It's Everton versus Leicester, and one of those teams have to win.
It's a huge week,
and they got to try it twice.
This is a great week. I'm just starting to realize this, because I know Liverpool and Spurs play twice. So, I mean, like, this could go completely south for what we think could happen. I mean, I'm really excited for this week. I didn't even know they played twice. This is going to be a hell of a week. I don't have much else to say about Leicester. They could completely, as you said, ruin a team's season, and I'd be in a happy place if they did. Hopefully it's not us, to be honest. Now I'm kind of now back of my head. Some thoughts are swirling because we've had good games, man. That we faced them, and what happened was tough game, man. Tough game for them. Right off the bat, red card, penalty shot, Navarro scores. I mean, just unlucky. And then
Who was that got the red card?
I don't even know, but I mean, I could check really quick. But
I forget his name. Was Doe or something? That was his player's name.
Dude, that's gonna kill you. And then we just go in to win 3-0. They actually were the closest to scoring though. Alonzi.
Well, the problem was, I had my back turned on a rush.
Broadway was the one that got the red card.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Yeah, tough week coming up for them. A huge week for the top 4 teams. So I think that's a good way to end on them. Obviously, I'm gonna give my MVP to Lamb. I know we haven't been doing team MVPs for the bottom 4, but for the most
is there
part,
an MVP?
I mean, is there an MVP though? So
I mean, Bruch on Chelsea for sure. But...
Or Flyers on Chelsea,
yeah.
Bruch on City.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Sparkplug
on Bournemouth, and then the whole United team for showing up but. Yeah. Leicester, you have an interesting week. You could really do damage, and best of luck to you guys. Okay, with that being said, let's get to Everton. There's 2 games I really want to talk about. Great week for them. 1 goal against the entire week, and it was against Bournemouth. Could have had a whole week without conceding a goal. Alonzi, just talk about the Liverpool game, and then we'll obviously let you want to explain the whole Spurs. So take it away, Alonzo.
Well, what happened was we were short midfield that game, very short, and we had no midfield, and we had to get Easy Dangles to step up as an any, which he's not an any, and he even admitted that. And it was a tough game, man. We had no midfield. We couldn't break out that much. It was more defense. You, Fives, played amazing with sweat saves this guy was making. And we at least carried out a draw that game. I don't know how, because that game was brutal. Everything else about that game, they played great, but they were overpowering us on no mid. They walked right by us. But I give shout-outs to even Tom, me and Tom, and whoever else was there. Who else was ID there? Well, we had T-Man, which played
T-Man
a
and
great game.
Kane.
And Kane, which had a hell of a game. And we just shut it down. But that game, I say, we shouldn't have won that game. We were short mid. We were getting outplayed. That was a good game for Everton, yeah. And you can see the power they have. The roster, man, they have great players here. Like, impressive. Like, Big Yan as a goalkeeper for them, great goalkeeper. That guy was making saves. And I know, look at his record, 5-1-0. Guy is actually doing very well for them. Who else? The other games they had, I didn't really see, but the Bournemouth game, that was the only game they got scored on, right?
It was. It was the only game.
Yeah, they smashed him. It said on the site it says 7-0, but it was 7-1, wasn't it?
No, there's 2 games. They played them twice.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. It says 7-0. Oh, okay, that's why.
Just to chip in my 2 cents about that game. First 45 minutes, all Everton. Absolutely all Everton. We were really adjusting. Next 15 minutes, start of the half, came out with a great counterattack, as Liverpool is known for. And then became a little back and forth. So we recovered. Interesting game.
I was sweating.
Yeah, my palms sweating. Because off the rip, first 10 minutes, it was an onslaught, and it was Hawks. It was go Hawks. 15 inches, bro. Inches. He hits the post bar. My heart dropped because I was like, oh my god, he was that close. And I talked to him after. He said he didn't want to hit it lightly because I was close to it, but the shot was just too quick for me to react. It was close. That was extremely close. I'm too excited. That's why I'm just hyper. I need to hear about this game against the Spurs from you, Anna. I'm really excited. I haven't heard anything yet. The only person I talked to was Semple, but I gotta hear it. Let me just hear the full thing. Take it away.
Yeah, so this game was the game that LG rejoiced on to see us actually take a loss. Essentially, what happened with this game was I actually went back and rewatched it. It was one of the two games I played this week, and I was in it, and I wanted to rewatch it too, just to see if my initial reactions were like on par. The first half was pretty even. They really didn't get a clean shot on goal in the first half. We had the better of the chances. We had two or three chances. They had a nice their goalie had a nice save, and then like honestly, I was calm going into the second half. I didn't feel like we were conceded at all. I thought we were good, and I was like, all right, like I mean, we knew their midfield was pressuring us. Possession, they had a tiny bit more than us. It was like 52 or 53 to 48, 47, and I felt good about the game going in the second half. We start the second half, and it's a little bit more than the same first couple minutes, and then there's a play where they go down the wings or whatever, one of their players, they cross it in. When they cross it in, Etsy lags out, our center back, which I didn't know. I didn't realize he had lagged out. When he lags out, I didn't take control of his center back to contest the header, so they score on like a cross. I didn't even contest it at all. And then right there when that happened, our team was just they were done. They were done. Everybody started like people started blaming. People started trying to do too much. You got there was freak outs. People were going nuts on the mic. And then everybody was like I said, they were just rattled at that point. And then once you're rattled, I mean Everton has a lot of talent on their roster. Anytime you're rattled and you start turning the ball over against them, they're just gonna dominate. And that's what happened, dude. It was just a snowball effect from there. They scored again. I want to say maybe it was a turnover or something like that. And then we didn't see any of the ball really in the second half again because every time somebody tried to get the ball, they wanted the ball hog and they wanted to get the team out of it themselves. And that all of us were guilty of it. I don't think anybody really played that good that game on our team. There was just like I said, it was the second half. It was more of a mental breakdown than it was like talent wise. We obviously know how talented we are, but once you let that first goal get to you, that was it. And then they just dominated the second half. It wasn't even close. We had one good chance, which I wanted to take on a first time shot in like the 89th minute, but it didn't even matter. We were already down 3 or 4, so it really didn't matter at all. Only a clean chance at the second half. Um, the only thing I'll say about that game is a shout out to Santa Claus, Jay Claus. He actually was the only person really on the team that probably kept their cool, and he played the best on our team. Still made most of his passes, made the easy plays, but everybody else, it was a disaster. It wasn't even close at all in the second half.
Game of two halves. I got to admit, though, this whole week, I messed up, and I said that Go Hawks shouldn't be playing back, but that pairing of the Extreme Curl and Go Hawks, ooh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean they had an easy day against us, honestly, man. Their midfield is really what dominated the game. We just in the second half we didn't really give outlets, so whenever we would make a pass, they had somebody that was right on the ball right away. Whether it was Zeus, Simple, Twiz, Tomorrow, whatever. Even their forwards were doing a good job pressuring. They had somebody and they had one of the passing lanes cut off, right? Like they had the middle cut off too. And then there was never any more support from that. There was only one person trying to support on their team. And like I said, it was just turn the ball over and they dominated. Give them credit. I mean, obviously a 4-0 win's not fluky.
Yep.
I mean, there's reasons behind it, but like I said, the reasons still, it's just not a fluky win. It just shows what they can do.
Yeah. No, they're a great team, and they show it every time they hit the pitch.
Yeah, I mean the thing. My fault to cut you off, but the thing I'll say going forward for the team is like you look at their schedule this week. Besides our game and your game, their schedule is as easy as it can get.
Yep.
You got City, United, Bournemouth, twice. Going into next week, you're looking at Leicester twice. You're looking at Chelsea twice. You're looking at Liverpool again, and then you have the one game against Bournemouth. They should handle Chelsea easily. It is what it is. But we're talking about again Leicester playing spoiler. My money's obviously on Everton, but Leicester can sneak out a result in one of those games, which would be a huge impact on the actual title race. And then again with you guys, that's a game that both of you guys are going to obviously be going really, really hard at because that's such a key game, the last game of that week.
2 games, no goals, both ends. So
yeah,
we're waiting. Oh, okay. Also, speaking about future games, last game of the entire season, Spurs Everton. Is that like? I mean, this is like Dreamville, okay? Say Liverpool drops, I'm praying, and I don't expect us to, but say, worst comes to worst, everything falls apart. Last game of the season for the title if there's no playoffs, and we'll talk about that. That would be insane to end off a first season. So, that would be cool. I just wanted to pitch that. But this team really, I'm so glad they rebounded, gives the league so much more of a competitive edge to it for the top teams. I'm really happy.
They didn't just rebound. They didn't just rebound. They dominated.
Yeah, they dominated. 1 goal.
I mean, don't take that 4-0 win lightly against us either. That wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like it was fluky. Like I said, yeah, our team lost our, minds mentally, but the way they were playing definitely played into that. It wasn't like we lost it for no reason. Yeah, people got a little upset that somebody disconnected, but then immediately they got a second goal pretty quickly after, because people were a tiny bit rattled, and you just started burying it on, and that's it, dude. They just sent their team into a spiral.
Yep.
So it's like they caused the mental breakdown on Spurs.
And they have Dustin out of the net too, so that just adds another player who has some pretty nice thumbs to his game. I mean, hats off to Sis though. Oh my God, what a season! 18 goals, 7 assists, 36 shots on target in 11 games. Damn.
Guy's a beast, man.
Yep. And that back two worked really well, like I said. Sorry,
I'm just looking this week coming up. These games with Everton and Leicester. Wow, I really wish they stream it, because those are gonna be some good games.
Those are gonna be some good games.
Anyone can come out there. Anyone can come out there, and that would make or break their season.
Yep.
So, I got to see that.
Yeah, Everton pulled it back into their hands, like we've been saying. You want it in your hands. So the top 3 teams have it in their hands. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you play us, that's it. We're coming out hard.
It's just gonna be good games, man. It's gonna be fantastic. This is gonna be a hell of a week. So hats off to Go Hawks rallying the boys. And
one last thing about them, man. And in our game, a little shout out to their CDM that game. It was like Tamar Jr. He had like close to 20 passes against us, and
100%.
Yeah, and you look at 7 tackles at 87% tackle rate. Like, that dude was, anytime we thought we could get a chance in the second half, he was just like, nope, like, turn around, dude. And then he would make the perfect ball, and then that was it. And like I said, I mean, big in goal. The first half, like I said, he made a couple big saves for him, because if we get a goal in the first half, I think that game's different, because then, XT legs out and it's only 1-1 and people don't really go as crazy, but that's what it is. He kept that 0-0, and then they just dominated that second half. Like I said, that second half was probably the best half I've seen out of any team in this league. Even that's like including any team versus Bournemouth or any team versus United. What they did in that second half was just embarrassing to us.
Yeah, Jan has really fit that goalie in between the 6. He's fit that very well, and I'm glad that Everton found their goalie. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a good week. Gonna be a good week
for sure.
I'm excited to see what they have, and like I said, I'm happy Go Hawks rallied the boys. Now let's get to the final 2 here. Liverpool, me, you, and Lonzy. Oh my God. I said, and I'm so happy. I am so happy they listened. This was the week. You don't play the Spurs. You don't have to worry about it. You just got to worry about your games, and that's it. And we did exactly that. 0 goals against, 6 straight clean sheets. You can't get any happier than that.
Oh yeah, that was a total shutdown, man. That changed from putting Tom for mid, because I knew nothing was happening with him on mid. Yeah, and putting him back beside me. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, you want to, as we talked about Tom having to step up in the first podcast we did. I knew Tom could play defense, and there's a game where our defender Details, who's going to move up to, I think, is more of a better spot for him in CDM. He couldn't make it, so I was like, Tom, play. I was like, please just play with Alonzi. And he stepped in, and right away, I was just like, this duo. He got that City game was the first game. Yes, it's against City or whatever, but Alonzi and him never played center back together. He gets man of the match. He goes a perfect 14 for 14 with 4 tackles. And gets man of the match with an assist. You can't ask much more from someone just starting out, getting thrown in there. And the triangle, as I'm going to call it, the Alonzi, Tom, Risaka, and me, that has worked really well. The communication has been really nice. And leading forward, that's going to be the deal breaker, is how well we could play and move the ball up, at the 3 of us at least. Because, I mean, those two, I'm more of a traditional kind of keeper. Shot stopper. But Alonzi and Saka both love passing back. I have a ton of passes this season, and so hopefully the ball movement can stick the way it is. But I'm so happy that we found a really good partner for Alonzi. Details was really good, but he's more of a CDM in my opinion.
Yeah. I just think the trust value between us three.
Yeah,
it's
for sure
beautiful.
too.
Like I could pass the ball to you 2 inches away, and just kick it out.
Yep.
Really in danger, give it to you, or I'll give it to Tom, or we'll pass it to whoever's on the right back or left back. It could be T-Man, it could be Easy Dangles, anyone. Kane.
Yeah, T-Man stepped up huge. The TC.
Oh man.
Whew.
I've been saying, like, I'm gonna sit on here. I want him with a contract. That kid, and he's reliable. He's always there. He's game time. He's in the dressing room before everyone. One of those guys, and I like that. But not just us. It's the wall that we have. No one can really pass us. Yeah, the odd time we'll get broken out. We'll have a few flunders, and the guy will get passes. But we always have that one, either me or Tom, running back to him and taking him, tackling him, giving you.
But before we all get too confident, obviously it's a great achievement.
Oh,
the only team we've let up more than one goal against is the Spurs, and we have them twice this week. Like I said, we've left it in our hands. 6 points up to grab for the top 2 teams in the league right now. We're behind the Spurs 2 points. This is as good as it gets in terms of playing 11v11 competitive, because you guys are going to field 11. I know we're going to field 11. And now you guys added flyers. The goalie matchup is going to be great. And our midfield has been playing really good. Didi, or if you want to say Dai, whatever. I mean, his passing percentages must be in the 90s. And Easy and Yoshi or YK really have figured that too out. And I'm really excited to play the Spurs. Like, you could just tell through the voice. It's as good as it gets. It really is.
But this week, vibes, you gotta really think about it. This has probably been the best week we had.
Those have been 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't care. It's been 3, isn't it?
No, 2.
Oh yeah. Well, preseason 2 weeks.
It's preseason.
Oh, yeah. Preseason 2 weeks. But yeah, still, we went from getting mad at each other and complaining about everything to actually now playing some smart soccer, and our quick passes are really on par. I'm very happy. I'm even happy with our mid a bit. Our mid is actually improving. We're not the best, we still have our flaws, but I'm very happy.
The one thing I'll say from a neutral, well, 2 things real quick, is any team that's leaking goals, just completely leaking. If you're a defender or a midfielder and you're leaking goals, go watch the Liverpool games and look at how they did, the way they team defense. Not just the center backs and the goalie, but just the way your midfield too, things like that. They give outlets. The way you guys defend is the best in the league by far, and it shows the stats wise. It's not even close. I mean, 5 goals allowed all year, and 3 of them in one game against us. So
more than half one game. So
yeah, I mean, and like I said, like you said, your midfield is improving. That was the thing at the beginning of the year. We knew you guys had attackers. We knew you guys had the defense. It was just a matter of your midfield getting up to shape and getting the chemistry down a little bit.
Oh yeah, we never had a problem with our strikers. Our strikers are good. Navarro
killed it this week. Oh my God, Navarro killed it this week. Fat Man 2 came in. Fat Man, there's another kind of unity. It's not as big as you guys because they don't go in the shot box or whatever. But there's a group on our team it consists of, one of them doesn't play with us, but it's Navarro, Fat Man, Yoshi, Kane, and Seb, the 4 of them. Very good chemistry. It shows. Fat Man has found his way right into the league right away. The big thing that I have moving forward in terms of the 2 games is I don't think we're going to field a 3, just like a preview. I mean, you have to expect it because, like you said, the midfield is the most important versus you guys. Yeah. So I think with details, playing CDM, that's going to make a huge, huge difference. I've seen him play CDM. That's his natural position, I'm pretty sure. But it's gonna be a hell of a game because those midfielders are gonna clash, and hopefully it's as good as I hope.
No, I'm very happy with your patience now with the ball. Before it was always triangle or rush or a quick pass to a guy that's covered. Now they're actually smarting up, looking around, watching an opening and giving that quick pass, and it's just beautiful, man. We had a great week. I'm very happy.
Well, now getting to looking forward. Okay, we play Spurs twice, Leicester once, and Everton. Now, this is the week. I mean, after this next week, week 4, we play City, Bournemouth, United. So, presumably, clean house on that week. So, and Spurs play Everton that last week, right? So, you take as many points you could get. You say you beat Spurs one game and then draw against them. That's you're really putting it in your hands. Really are. So it's those 2 games are the biggest, and obviously you need to score against Everton. That's the last team that you haven't scored against, or the Liverpool team. So definitely gonna be a week to watch out for, and like I said, putting it in your hands is the most important thing you could have in a season, especially in soccer. So
yeah, absolutely.
I really hope with this game on Sunday against you guys, that we got Yoshi home.
Yoshi is home. That's the crazy thing. For the first time, Yoshi's actually going to be home for all the important games, except for the Leicester game. But he's home for the Sunday games. He's our any, by the way. He's the only one who. Okay. So Yoshi's home for the Sunday game. He's home for the 8:40 game, and he's home for the Everton 8:40 game. So fielding our best lineup is presumably what we're gonna have. Or I have our best lineup. So yeah.
I just hope it's 11 on 11.
I do too.
I know Hotspurs will have it, but
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll field 11. Doesn't matter who it is, but there'll be 11 people there some way or another.
That's good.
I think the biggest question in terms of Liverpool, just from trying to go outside, is who plays right back. You have a more defensive team man who really did well this week, or do you have the more offensive legal? Because Easy's gonna play up. So those are your 2.
So the thing about your team, which I believe I touched on it a bit last week, for people struggling to beat you guys kind of play similar to how you would compare an Italian team in real life.
Yeah, no, we play Liverpool.
Yeah. To beat Liverpool, you have to get up on them first. The reason you get up on them first is because then once your midfield starts extending up a little bit, that's the only reason we were able to put up 3 on you guys, because we took the 2-0 lead, and I think you came back and all, but it's still, once you get them out of that mindset of playing controlled and getting them to come up more, then you can open up maybe a little bit. Then maybe you can get Alonso onto a couple one-on-ones, or even Saka onto a couple one-on-ones, and maybe you can beat them once. Because beating you is hard enough, and even getting to you is hard enough. So if you can get up on Liverpool any way you guys can, whether that's the the strategy attempt to beat Liverpool. Because once you guys have a lead, that's it, dude. Just really honestly, just pack it in. Just once they have because once they start pushing into you, it's easy, man. Then
there's the Liverpool counterattack. That's the one thing that I've said stand by the whole season. Our counterattack is impressive.
Extremely good. Yeah. Well,
so
like you said, we play Italy. Exactly. We've got the 1 goal, and then we'll try to hold back.
Shut down. You just made Alonso's day, bro.
You'll get the 2 or 3 goals. After that, you start off with 1. If you get 1 early, they'll start pushing up right around the second half, and then that's it. Just it's over at that point, because once you guys get possession, you center backs don't turn it over, and then you just go up, and there's the counterattack. Yeah. And a 3-on-3, in FIFA is basically a 2-on-1 in NHL. So
yeah. No, vibes too, man. He's been great, man. Sweat saves. The guy saving our asses sometimes.
Absolutely.
Straight up. But this week coming up, straight up, is going to be the toughest week ever.
Yep.
Anybody else you guys want to mention on your team?
Tom, Navarro. I mean, the whole team really. Everyone played. So just the whole team. The whole team MVP. But I will give it to Navarro for the crazy amount of goals he scored this week, and Tom for hugely stepping up at center back and creating a very nice duo. I hope they do a team of the year kind of thing, in real life.
I will do it.
I mean, we'll do it regardless. I hope they actually give the actual award on the LG site. That'd be cool. So I'd definitely throw up Alonso and Tom for center backs. But anyway, let's go to Spurs. The last team here. We're not going to be done after that. We have to talk about playoffs, just to remind everyone. But
a couple different things we'll mention.
The Spurs, dude, it's scary now. It's scary now because everything's up in the air, right? you guys are still the best team in the league, up by 2 points. You can afford. You could go out and against us and get 2 draws and still be fine. You'll take that. The only thing that I would have semi worry about if it came to draws or like low scoring draws at least would be the goal differential. But again, all you have to do is draw against us twice and then beat Everton. And
our goal differential is higher than yours anyway.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're down with how many goals you have already?
Dell's been unreal.
Dell's got 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
21, 22.
I'll itch the golden boot to him.
I think there might be a game where his stats aren't recorded yet too.
Yeah, and I think it was like a 5-goal game or some crazy amount. But really, Dell's been having a crazy season. I'll let you take.
That's
take
not a
this
crazy
one.
season, man. It's just the way he's gonna play. The way we've been playing for years. That's how it is. He'll do this every year he plays with us. Every season. I mean, it's just how it is. All right, so to just get into it, I went into pretty in depth about the Everton game. I don't really need to go over that again.
Yep.
Just talk about a couple things with the team. So I only played 2 games this week, even though I was available for more because I actually can't play next week. So you guys should be happy about that. I'm not.
Wait,
in either
the
Liverpool
whole
games.
week.
Yep. Nope.
Ooh.
Can't play the whole week. Yeah. So
who's taking that? I know you guys still have insane midfield, but the big story of your guys' season is the you want to pass to Dell finishes. It's like watching a painter. you know. So
I'm more of the moisture. I pull the strings for Slomy and
Pirlo
Dell
out there, man.
Most likely it'll be Claus in there.
Still very
most
good.
Likely
so
again.
It's not like a huge downgrade or anything.
Yeah, we have an idea. There's a reason why we think we were able to put up 3 on you guys, which obviously I'm not going to go into.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
we there's a very solid reason why we think it worked. So I assume that they're just going to run with that. The main reason I didn't play this many games this week was mainly just because I knew I couldn't play next week, and then potentially might not be able to play the week after that. Just because of the work schedule.
Yep.
Which my team knew about when we joined the league. That that's why
it would come down to that. Yep.
Yeah.
You talked about that last week.
Yeah. So I just told Ranta and everybody like that. I told them, dude, don't even put me in games. Let other people play without me. So that just for team chemistry purposes. And I mean, and they looked really good in all the games. I went and rewatched a lot of the games. I gotta say, Alonzi, I think your boy Snipe Shot, right?
Yeah.
He's been playing, man. So I've been. Me personally, I have been advocating for Snipe Shot this whole year to get him in more games, and I've been Demon. You can get mad at me all you want to. I've been trying to get flyers since before week 1, man. Like week 1 started, midweek 1. I think that acquisition is huge. We did lose another midfielder, but I don't know how much he was going to play next week anyway. And dude, Menrao, which we actually liked him a lot. I thought he was a pretty good player, but that Flyers acquisition is, I think, going to be really big for us.
No, I think that's going to pay off. I think Flyers
really...
is, from just what I've seen, I think Flyers might be the better goalie. I think the Flyers is the better goalie.
He's a good goalie.
So that's a win trade for you guys.
I remember, man, even when we played Chelsea and even when we lit him up,
you could see
he
it.
made some really, really good saves. And I've been advocating for him, like I said. I think about Demon, which is why we talked when we made the trade, and we talked to Ranta, Poop, and everything like that, and Branton Trope. That my thing about Demon was whether or not, first off, he does have connection issues. He lags in and out. He apparently changed his internet, so that's fine. But even when he wasn't lagging, it was inconsistent. Like, he's either gonna, as a team, you need to know what your goalie's weaknesses are. You can't let in one from 35 out and then save a cross crease. You have to, and then it'd be the exact opposite next time. You have to let your team know so they can cover up your weaknesses. If the team knows you don't like going against finesse shots from outside the box, then they'll overplay them to then get you shots that if you're going to give up a chance, at least make it a chance that's more favorable to your goalie. There was no consistency at all for us, so we just didn't really have any idea of what to do, which is part of the reason it came down. The other thing was the attitude in game. If something wasn't going his way or he thought he should have caught a ball, something like that, he would spaz out on the mic sometimes, and it's like that. Regardless of whether or not that affects how you play, I think I touched on this some last week too. It affects the way the rest of the team plays. So now, like, if something happens and you get mad, like, oh, I should have caught that, or I can't believe I didn't. Now, like, your back line's starting to get a little shaky because they're like, all right, like, we can't let anything through. So now your back line tenses up, and then the midfield, tenses up because they don't want to lose possession. And then, in terms, you, of course, are going to do the opposite of what you don't want to do. So, that being a big trade. Besides that, they handled every game. Dell had some, highlight goals. He's got the bike from outside the box, but they handled every game they should have handled. Except the Everton game, which, of course, like I said, talked about before. We didn't have K-Mac play center back a couple games. He was in the Everton game, so there's no excuse. But again, it didn't really matter. And the other ones, our schedule this week was pretty easy. Besides, of course, the loss.
Can I throw in one thing?
Go ahead.
Snipes. I know you really want to get Snipe shot games, and why not? The guy hasn't lost yet on your team. Everyone else has a draw or a loss of one another, but this guy only has 6 games and 6 wins.
Yeah.
And every time I see him play, man, he plays smart midfield soccer, nice, easy passes. Nothing fancy. And I don't know what you got to do with your team to get him to play more, but it would be to your best interest, straight up. He's a great player. And even J. Claus. J. Claus is a great midfielder. He's only draw the one game.
Claus was in the he was in the Everton loss with us, but like I said, he was the most impressive player. The thing about Claus, man, and which for those of you who played NHL with him, like the guy doesn't lose his cool. Like when he plays, and it doesn't matter how bad it's going. He's more often than not going to. He's going to make the right plays. And the thing that when I went back and watched the games, in the game that I wasn't playing, I was watching the team just to see different things. Like, Claus is, a lot of times I was watching Claus, like, when you're watching somebody in your head, you're like, all right, this is what I would do with the ball. A lot of them, it was like the same exact thing. So as soon as, like, he got it, I was like, all right, I would do this. He went and did it. You know what I mean? So I was happy to him. He finally got his goal that he was
dying for.
First goal of the year. Yeah, him. And then Snipe got a goal. Snipe been doing his thing, like I said. He scored so. But the one player, honestly, I'll throw out that's I think is really underrated on our team is actually HJ. I call him have joke, have fun, but HJ, he's been playing left back the whole year, and I think he's actually one of the better left backs in the league. Because first off, how many left backs that actually want to play left back?
Yeah, that's true.
Or not just kicked out there, but like he rarely turns it over. I mean, like, he plays like kind of old school, man. If he makes an interception, there's 2 people around, he's just gonna kick it out of bounds and like just let it reset. So he's very solid on his tackles. Just wanted to give him a little shout out. But the rest of the team,
he's got the most wins. Him and Dell have the most wins on your team.
Yeah. I mean, they're always playing. I mean, Dell's gonna play always just to make sure he gets the golden boot. That's why he doesn't sit any games. But there was a bit of like an issue with our lineups. Like, people weren't happy over our lineups, and there was valid points that were being made. So they better be fixed by next week. Is all I'm saying, because if they're not, we can't afford, especially in the games versus you guys, to not field our best players.
Yeah.
Because that was. Yeah, like if we do that, like if we don't field one of our, first of all, I'm not there already, and then let's just say we don't field somebody else, we probably won't win that game. And we really need to at least win one of those games, in my eyes, just to make it so that way, if worst case scenario, if Everton does beat us, we still have that 3-point cushion.
Yeah, well, like you said before, you guys got to keep your cool too. If you guys get scored on, don't freak out.
I have a question here. As the people are screwing upstairs, what side is home and what side's away? Is on the schedule, at least, like if you go to the schedule, is left home or is left away? I'm pretty sure left's away, right?
Left is home in soccer.
No, but I'm saying for the league though, I think left is because usually right sends, right? Like I don't know. The only reason I bring that up, and it means nothing in terms of actual, but the only time the Spurs have dropped points this entire season has been quote unquote away games. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I just want to throw that in there.
No, it does. regardless of whether you think it does in FIFA, it actually does play a little bit. Like I'm not gonna get into the whole thing. I mean, if you guys want to talk about it after, I will a little bit. But like, it actually does play into it. Believe it or not.
I think as
the
it
home
should
and
though.
away.
I mean, like that's a good part of realism
Yeah.
in the game. You know.
Yeah, but it does play into it like a tiny bit. You know,
Yeah.
not enough where it would make up for, if we're home versus Everton. Do we not get 4-0? No, we still probably get 4-0. You know, let's be real about that game. That game was just embarrassing. I'm not gonna cut that anyway. But like I said, I mean, it's mental issues with our team, man. Even without me, the talent's still there, man. I mean, I have complete faith in Dell, Slomy, Trope. These guys, the back line.
Pooping.
Claus is gonna. Claus is probably the least worried I am about anybody. Claus, I know is gonna he's gonna make his plays. He's gonna do his things. The other thing to watch out for is if we can get him to play. If we can get him to play, because I'm not there, it would be perfect. And that's Rocky Balboa, SP, my boy Jeremy, who we know him in real life. He's been playing with us for a while, and he was in the Chelsea game. He actually played that Chelsea game when I wasn't there, and he played unreal that game.
Adrian.
What
Yeah.
What's his username? Is he a TC? I'm just like looking through the. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he had an assist, but he plays. He really, really connects the midfield, and like he kind of plays like how a number 10 would in real life, but like he plays right in behind the striker.
Yep.
Like Del Piero.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So
exactly.
Looking forward, I mean, you guys have a tough week. Liverpool, Leicester, Liverpool. I mean, that's 3 hard games in a sense. See how Leicester comes out, and then that next week still not a cakewalk either. Leicester and Everton. I mean, this is, in my opinion, I don't know if you two agree with me. This is the Spurs week to win this. This is like if this is like the deciding if Spurs win the league or not. This week.
I can break this. Yeah. So I'll break this down. So Leicester, the first game we played against Leicester was one. That's like what started the whole issues on our team, which I touched on last week. Was like when we drew that game, we don't feel like we should have drew it all. First off, we outplayed them anyway, but their goalie made a couple big saves, and it ended in a 1-1. But if you look at that lineup we fielded in that game, it was just a tough lineup, man. It was not our best. We didn't field our best. I mean, a couple of them aren't even on the team. We had the TCs. It was like, and that's what started the whole, like, why are we fielding TCs? I get we want to get people games and things like that, but like, we need to win first. That was the issue.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. You can't underestimate Leicester either. That's another thing.
I know, but like, I think with our full lineup, I think we handle them, to be completely honest.
Yep. They've gotten better.
They should
but
win that game. The games next week really comes down to, you cannot let Spurs win against you in either of them games, to be completely honest, because then we have the cushion we need.
No, but I'm saying if Liverpool gets 4 points, so win and a draw, right? That's huge because we're only divided by 2 points. That flips the script in terms of places. So you're still in the power seat. Like I said, you could take 2 draws and still go on with it. Then it comes down to beating the Everton and us beating Everton. But the main thing is that first game for the Spurs, at least, just like the mindset in the locker room, you can't lose. You can't lose. You can't even draw.
First game? No, against you guys?
Yeah, because here.
No, we can. Yeah, we can.
No, but I'm saying that's all the pressure on you guys now.
No, the mindset won't be like that. But statistically, like they can, if they lose that game and then they beat you the second time, then it's fine.
Well, we can't lose. Liverpool can't lose against you guys.
Literally, you guys cannot afford to give us a win.
No, we can't. We can't give you 3 points.
You can still draw twice and then bank on, all right, well, Everton just 4-0'd them. Let's see what happens. Granted, you obviously don't want to do that. You want it to be completely in your hands. But, if Spurs get a win against you guys, that's pretty much, Yeah. And then if we get a win and a draw against you guys, then that's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Then
you have to take 3 points at least. But I'm saying for the first time this season, if we take that first game, the Spurs are gonna have like full blown pressure on them. I mean, not mean like all right, like expectation pressure, whatever. That's what I meant by like you kind of have to win.
They put you in first.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. Those 2 games. Someone hopefully streams them. I think someone will anyway. But
Claus
yeah. So
I'm sure I want to watch the replays.
Well, all I'm gonna say is this Sunday game at 8:00 is gonna be very important. Very important. Good thing is that we're home, right?
And I'm not there.
And
we're at home.
You're home.
Still
and
can't
we don't. Yeah,
underestimate
that's
it,
our
though.
any. Like that's our.
Yeah.
If they can't field, let's just say if something happens where we can't field 11, like I'm also the any on the team.
Yep.
So now we have somebody else stepping in to try and play any, or if somebody lags out, which has happened plenty of times this year, you know.
And he's a hard position, man, because your guy apparently, like,
agreed.
if you play it kind of like not poorly, but the game just has this thing where you lose stamina like crazy. Like your player is just like his stamina drops. I don't know why, but
there's that, and then it ruins your positioning.
Yeah.
You can't bring the camera to view your own guy, whether you're off the ball. Like you can't middle click to change camera.
Yeah.
And then the positioning's just gone because the AI is so bad that it'll just start. It'll mess up. It really will. It won't give passing lanes. You know, he'll be so far out of position. You know, like there's times where I'm playing any and like. There's just nobody at the camp spot because my guy decides he's going to go make a run next to Dell, or he comes all the way back and he's like at CDM. But it's not even like because somebody filled in at that position. The AI just thinks that's the proper thing to do for some reason because it doesn't know how to react to what the humans are doing around it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you guys have a good week. We have a good week. And any team's going to come up ahead. We just can't be losing both of us and have some like Everton and Leicester just pop up. Take our spots.
Everton. Yeah, I mean,
who the hell knows? Everton could come out of nowhere too.
If you think about it, it still technically is an Everton hand because Everton, well, they would need us to lose another game, but like if they beat us and then beat you, then they,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't.
Flip
Realistically, can we beat you guys twice? Yes, but at the same time, can you beat us twice? Yes. I don't see either of our teams sweeping both games. To be completely honest,
No,
I don't see. Can it happen?
Yes. A draw and then maybe one of us will win.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe there's a draw and then the other team wins the other game. And if that happens and Everton beats both of us, then I'm pretty sure Everton just wins the league.
That's a GG right there, right? So
Everton just wins, and then that is what it is.
I mean, yeah, like I said, this is a fine ending, fine last week and a half to your first season. You have 4 teams if you count Leicester in it to take the title. And it's not in anyone's hands, like, right away. You're all kind of reaching for it at this point, and that's what you want.
I mean, we obviously had to make a big trade to do what we think they had.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. I think that Flyers trade was you guys won that trade. Flyers moves on to a team that's going to give him some defense.
I lobbied for him very hard.
Well deserved too.
We just got to see how it goes this week.
Yep.
How you do. That's it.
And I mean,
playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say let's talk about playoffs. I don't think there should be playoffs for season 1. I think we should just bang this out, done and done. Let's just do it the traditional. You win the league, that's it. You get the title, and then just go to season 2. We have nearly 200 signups, if not 200 signups. I'm checking right now. We have 203 signups. When this league first started, we couldn't get 75. So
wow.
You need to wrap the season up right away and then get 10 teams, 12 teams if you even can get 12 teams, and just go. So, I think all of us are in agreement on that one.
I agree on that. Just bang out the season, and then after you can do the whole like random cup tournaments. You know.
Yep.
Wednesday, like they said, on a Wednesday it'll be a cup tournament. You know. 4 top teams.
That was my other argument. Was that the other argument that I'll make now and that I posted about a little. I think playoffs are the worst idea. I think regardless of whatever we do, whether we do a cup or not, or like playoffs are just stupid. I think playoffs are dumb. Don't handle it. I mean, is it a little interesting? Yeah, because that gives the opportunity for somebody like Leicester or Chelsea to maybe because you only got to fluke out 2 games. If there's a playoffs, you can very well argue that the best team didn't win. You can, you know what I mean? Like, let's say we don't finish in first, but we win the playoffs. You can very well argue that maybe Liverpool or Everton should have won. You know what I'm saying? The other idea that I had, I mean, like, because if you had it planned for the playoffs anyway, just do the FA Cup. We'll call it the FA Cup. You can do it during that week, and then you just play 1 game each day. All 8 teams can be in it, so it gives, like, Man U, Bournemouth something to play for real quick. You'd play 1 game a night, and then you're done with it.
Agreed.
It also gives another like cool thing, like we still won the FA Cup. It still gives something else to play for besides the season. And
also there could be a double.
If you guys, exactly. Yeah, it gives the opportunity to have a double, things like that.
I like that. I think either just end it here, get to season 2, because again, that's why I really want just a season 2, because we could have 10, we could have 12 teams, and that's like that's great. That's really nice.
Maybe break them to 2 divisions too, right?
Yep.
And then we can do like. like formats. We faced the first place.
Or just make it a traditional
division.
and have just like one league thing, and then have like the FA
Yeah.
Cup and the Capital One Cup. I think it's changed. They changed it to like the Champion Cup or some ridiculous name. Whatever. But you could have all that. So I'm for not having and just getting to season 2 or just doing a really quick FA Cup. And I think obviously the GMs will talk to Simba about it, and hopefully he listens and we just get it over with.
Because I also think that we're gonna need a bit of an elongated offseason this offseason, because we're definitely gonna add teams.
Yep, that's for sure. I mean, people might switch. I know a couple people that are gonna switch and take up management at least. So
yeah, so you have people going management. You have switches coming, and then you have to, because then the discussion is going to be made obviously between owners of like, does the contract rules have to change? Because I know there's extensions that can be offered, but because we're adding teams, do we nullify that this year or what? Because then you can argue it gives an unfair advantage to the teams that were in the league compared to the new teams. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot that has to be discussed and talked about in the offseason. So it's going to be a bit of an elongated offseason. So I think the best thing to do I'm happy we got it. Everybody showed up besides the first day. At least the teams are showing up for games, which was the biggest thing. But I think we get done with this season. Like, I think, we're all in agreement. Get done with this season and take it from there.
Yeah, just get it over with. I mean, the FIFA League, they have, set up, I'm just looking really quick, 18 teams, but they're also, I think in their, 9th season or something, going into Season 2 having 10, 12 teams, that's a great accomplishment. And if you could do that right now, especially for a growing league like us, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I very agree.
So, I mean, if you guys have anything else to say, Alonzo, if you want to chip in anything.
Hold on 1 second. I'm looking here. I wanted to see what the site says about the cup games, because they were mentioning about a cup schedule.
Yeah, those are Wednesday.
Yeah, all the league teams will be divided into groups. Cup games will be played every Wednesday. Top teams advance to the knockout stage. That number is determined based on the amount of teams in each group. So, but that's how they do it, right, on Xbox?
Yeah, that's just
Our
following
rules are
Xbox
really
rules.
similar, but if you really take the time to go over the rules, there's a lot of things that the rules say that just haven't been done this year. Just because but going in that everybody knows it's going to be a weird season, just trying to get everything settled and you have to start from scratch somewhere. We knew there was going to be
mishaps and things, but it's just about pushing through the first season to set a base, and then you set the base, and then we can move on the next season and start cleaning things up and really figure it out from there. I think not that things haven't been interesting this year. I think everybody's had fun, but I think this off season is where things are going to start getting really interesting.
Yep.
For
sure.
With certain players wanting to play with certain players and things like that, and you'll start to see all that start taken into account.
Sorry, for the next season, are they going with the same caps, like salaries?
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep 40. I don't know. We'll see. Again, that's like you want to say. That's all up for discussion. That's why I think we need a little bit of time, and we want to try to get it started as quickly as possible. So you end it quick, and then try to get started as quick. So yeah, I don't know. After that, I just hope that people keep joining and this league keeps expanding. Because I know for a fact, at least me personally, I'm done. Once August hits, I'm off to college. I'm not even bringing my PlayStation for the first semester. So, young man vibes is gone. I just want to see the best for this league.
Yeah, I mean, August is a while.
Yeah, August is a while too.
You're talking the next year of FIFA.
I'm talking next year. I'm talking next year of FIFA. But
my man's making it sound like, dude, I'm out soon. Season 3, you won't see me.
I mean, maybe season 3. I don't even know.
Meanwhile, it'll probably be season 4 or 5 at that point.
Dude, I hope. I want to play. I want to play as many games as I can before kid's gone. So, but that's gonna be a sad departure, Lonzo. I'll miss you, Lonzo.
Oh,
Best friends for 4 years.
Oh, yeah, Lonzo, we got
you could join up with the
Lonzo,
Spurs.
Don't worry, man. I am. You can definitely come in that Spurs back line and come hang out.
We're gonna find a new vibes, man. I'm gonna get a kid off the street to be like, your mess.
Vibes is just going on long-term injury reserve.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. I'm taking an MJ. MJ, I'm going to baseball for a little bit. I'll be back though. I'll be back. No problem.
Taking a Carlos Tevez. He's got to sit out for a couple months and talk to his family, talk things over.
Nah, it's okay. We'll see him making videos for the New York FC one day.
Oh, dude, that's the dream right there.
Yeah. Oh, you will, man. I promise you.
Oh, Alonzo, getting all emotional here on the podcast. All right, I think we're good here, and I think this has gone on long enough. Shorter than just last week's, thankfully. Shout out to, I know a couple people listened all the way through, so shout out to all you guys. That's awesome.
Oh, the last podcast, I'll twiddle my thumbs near the end, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow.
Antsy there. Any of you guys have last thing to say before we send it off?
Go ahead. You wanna?
Young Sheik, you're the man.
Yeah. My boy City, from City fan to City fan. Alonzo, what about you?
Me, I just want to see how me and Tom continue this week, and whoever else is there, Legal, whoever, Kane, everybody. See how we do, how you do, how our midfield does. And for Tottenham, I'd love you guys. He's my boy. Don't get me wrong, but he deserves more playing time. I want to see Snipe shot every game this week. He deserves it.
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
He deserves
you heard
it.
That shit, Ranta?
Yeah, he's my boy. Don't get me wrong, but he's playing well. It's not like he's doing crap, and I'm just like, yeah, put him in, bro. He's my buddy. No, he's actually doing well.
You earn your playing time, and he has.
He has. Same as T-Man.
Yep,
like
T-Man has.
I believe he should play him. Sometimes it's this week.
Well, with that being said, I want to wish everybody a good luck this week. I want to wish especially to the top 4 teams. I'm very glad this is how the first season worked out. I know that the bottom teams, I'm sorry, some of you got screwed over, but at least there's a really good competitive edge to this, and I wish the best of luck. So thank you from the 3 of us. This has been episode 3 of Beyond the Pitch. Have a good one.